Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show today. We're going to be talking about some Disneyland updates. A lot of stuff opened, and later on, we're going to be doing another bracket challenge where we decide what the best dark ride is at the Disneyland Resort. So, from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, and points around Southern California, this is the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged. This is episode 767 of the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged for the week of May 1st. The Diz Unplugged Disneyland edition is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect Disney vacation. Visit them on the web at dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. And we're also brought to you by Disboards.com, a great planning resource in helping you find out all the information you need to have a perfect Disney vacation and to continue the conversations after the show. Visit it at Disboards.com. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I am your host, Rhino Clavin. Pete Werner is at a social media event for the 30th anniversary of Disney's Hollywood Studios, so that is why I am sitting here today. I've got some special people who are going to help me here, and for the first time ever, Corey Fiescanaro. Did I say it right?
You got it.
Okay.
Hey, guys.
Yeah. And then in the back, we've got Craig Williams, the man who makes it all happen.
Hi.
And all the way from Southern California, we've got Mr. Tom Bell.
Hey, everyone.
And the wonderful Luella Loriola.
Hi, everyone.
Yay. Okay. So, lots of stuff happening this week. We're just going to dive right in. Yeah, it's been pretty busy, right? I'm sorry. Before I start, does anyone have any housekeeping? No? Okay. First up, we have a little bit more information on the Star Wars reservations. And by information, we mean information that has no information, essentially, is what I read from this. But the reservations are going to open up on May 2nd. That is tomorrow. So that's Thursday, May 2nd. And that's going to be for anybody visiting Disneyland Park. The specific details on how to make that reservation, though, aren't going to be available on, or will be available on the Disney Parks blog and Disneyland.com on May 2nd at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So that's 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So set your alarms. That's when you're going to get the information about it. But then you also need to have a Disney account to register for a reservation. So you might want to create that now before the system gets all a little wonky once everyone who wants to go to the park that day, those thousands of people flood it. But that registration is going to open at 10 a.m. That's Pacific time. So if you are on the East Coast, that's going to be 1 p.m. Set some alarms in your phones. I am anticipating, if you tried to buy tickets for Avengers Endgame when that came out, I'm anticipating a similar situation happening where the website will stop working at 10:01 a.m. So I'm a little nervous about it, but I'm excited because
you have to have tickets, right? I mean, you have to be going that day and know exactly when you want to make your reservation.
Well, that's the weird part, is that I thought it was just going to open to annual pass holders because they can come whenever. So it makes more sense that the reservation would be for people who already have the ticket. So I don't know. And what I'm worried about is, like, if that's a pretty big detail to leave out until 2 hours before you open the reservation system. So, like, are people going to make reservations and just kind of buy the ticket based on when the reservation pops up? Or I don't know,
Yeah, that's true.
Because I thought I read that you have to have a ticket for the day you're making the reservation already when you're making the reservation.
Yeah.
It's going to be chaos.
Yeah, it's literally like they released essentially a paragraph or less than a paragraph about this on the Disney Parks blog. So I think it's still... I don't know if it's a thing where they're worried about saying too much about what has to be done, but
or they don't know yet.
Yeah, but this is only something we have to deal with. This is if you're visiting until June 23rd. After that, the reservation system, from what we know, is going to go away, and you just come and go. So that's that. The anxiety, it's just all that anxiety and anticipation that is just welling up right now. And it's like, I keep comparing it to the Avengers sensation, because not until you are standing ready to walk in that land, is this like wave of anxiety for me going to disappear? And even then, who knows? So I'm excited, though. I'm excited that we're going to be out there. We're going to be covering this event. It's going to be a lot of fun, I think. Chaos, but fun. But
for me, I have an annual pass. My husband doesn't. What if I bought him a ticket and we want to go a certain day and I couldn't get, I don't know, because tickets there's different prices depending on where you go.
And then what happens if something happens between when you bought the ticket and when your reservation and you wanted to cancel the reservation? Now you still have a ticket that's good for that day that you bought the ticket for, right? So
I know. Ask me next week because I'm going to be there. I'm going to be right there on May 2nd.
Yeah, we'll see. So tune in for the next episode when we find out how we're all super stressed. But we also got some information about Mickey's Mix Magic. And Tom, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I can. Okay, so Mickey's Mix Magic was the projection show with a little bit of fireworks that they brought for the Get Your Ears On celebration. And that is ending June 6th. And surprisingly, they are bringing back Disneyland Forever, which is the fireworks show that they created for Disneyland's 60th, the Diamond Celebration. And that starts the next day, June 7th. Typically, when they're between shows, they've been bringing back Remember Dreams Come True, but it seems unusual for them to bring back Disneyland Forever.
Yeah, this caught me really off guard. Like to the point when the first time I read the article, I was like, okay, Mickey's Mix Magic is going. I knew that wasn't going to be a forever show. Kind of like the Pixar fireworks. It just didn't feel. It was a cool show, and I actually really, really enjoyed it. And I hope it comes back in the future.
Yeah.
As kind of like how Magical would get rotated in and stuff sometimes during the summers. But when I first read through it, I saw Disneyland Forever, and I was just like, Disneyland fireworks. So Remember Dreams Coming True is coming back. And then once it clicked on me, I was like, no, it's Disneyland Forever. I thought that show would never, ever come back. I thought it was a mixture of it being too expensive, the issue of while they had the projections, what happens if they can't shoot off fireworks? The 5-minute show wasn't enough to kind of tide people over. I thought it was like a whole mixture of that. And
is that how long the Disneyland Forever was? I can't remember. I thought it was a little bit longer than that.
No, they did a short. If they couldn't shoot the fireworks off, they did literally just it was the last 5 minutes of the show, kind of with projections, not the full projection show.
So I see what you're
saying. Basically, they built the dream lights or whatever for that show that were the big massive lights, so they would still have those going off and kind of have the finale run. But that was if they couldn't shoot the fireworks off, that was all that they had. But
do you think the castle's going to be open for this?
Yeah, yes. Because Starlight will end. It's Sleeping Beauty walkthrough opens the 28th of May.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay.
So the castle should be up when we go back.
Yes. Yeah, awesome. I guess you're right. I assumed it would be open for Star Wars, but yeah, I'm excited. I know you love these fireworks, Craig, and they're great, and I am with you. I wish that Mickey's Mix Magic could be a type of show that rotated in the way they do the castle projection shows. If you've ever been to Universal Studios Hollywood or Orlando, the Harry Potter nighttime shows they do them more than once, and they involve a couple of fireworks, each show does, not a ton, but 4 or 5, whatever.
No, Mix Magic could have been something that happened regularly throughout the night. Just randomly would come on at certain points. That probably would have been held better, especially on the nights where you didn't need pyro. It could have just been that nice surprise. You're walking down, and then every once an hour it just comes on randomly. But I am so excited for Disneyland Forever. I love Remember Dreams Come True. A lot of people, I think most consider it probably the greatest Disneyland fireworks of all time. And
is that the 50th anniversary ones?
Yes. Yeah. And it goes through all of the park attractions in it. And the only thing for me that Disneyland Forever edges it out in a way is I love the projections that they had up and down Main Street and Small World. Mm-hmm. And I love that addition. So while I prefer the music in Remember Dreams Come True, I like the overall product of Disneyland Forever. And I just remember on our honeymoon, I Kylie and I were out at a brewery, and we knew that we were we were cutting close to see fireworks, and I was like, "Don't worry about it. Remember, Dreams Come True ran for 10 years after it was done with the 50th anniversary. So Disneyland Forever, it's going to run for another 10 years. It's fine if we miss it this one time." And then obviously the celebration came to the end, and they're like, "And Disneyland Forever is going to be finished." And I was like, okay.
Now you got to make up for it.
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
So,
Look up for it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited. I also enjoy the fact that this is kind of this thing they've been doing where they're rotating that nighttime entertainment a lot. It keeps it very fresh for me. You never know what's going to be going on your next trip out there. So,
I do like Mixed Magic, though. I was just saying how much I liked it, and then the news hit that it was going away. I was like, go figure.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks a lot.
It's a little bit of a bummer, but I liked where they were going. But we did have some opening of various things this weekend as well, which was Disney's PhilHer Magic is now open at California Adventure in Hollywoodland, and yes, it does have Donald's butt in it. I know there was a concern that that in the end of the show, Donald flies through a wall in our Orlando version, and people were like,
Spoiler
"Well, that's
alert.
That's the best part." And I feel like nobody ever turns around. Oftentimes,
Right.
like I start the turnaround, and I'm like, "Look, there's a duck butt," So
Don't spoil Donald's endgame.
yeah. Quite literally. I've heard. I don't know. I haven't experienced it yet. Tom, you haven't experienced it, right? Luella, did you say you had or you had not yet?
No, I walked by it, but it was really crowded, so I was just going to come back another time.
Yeah.
But everyone's excited about it, especially there hasn't been anything in there. It was mostly just previews of movies to come, so it's exciting to have a kind of a new
attraction.
a new attraction. I mean, I've seen it at Walt Disney World, but a lot of people here haven't, and so far so good. So I'll see it soon.
Yeah. Our I don't know what correspondent. That's the word. Okay, I couldn't think about it. Morgan, if you follow us on Instagram at the.diz, you'll see she's been posting a lot of stuff. But she went and experienced it and said her kind of assessment is that it's all feels very temporary still. That the signage is the same type of signage that's put in place whenever there's a movie preview there, and that nothing's really new in the theater. And
it came really quick. I mean, I'm sorry.
A rumor this morning that they are going to install more permanent signage and also rework award wieners around the corner and the seating area to kind of coordinate with the theme. So we'll see if that happens.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to check it out when we go there, obviously. The screen's going to be different, but my friend said that he felt like it was a lot crisper, more crisp, I don't know, than the Orlando version. So that's what I look forward to, because I feel like our projectors are drifting slowly and it's getting a little less aligned.
I mean, that happens with any show after a long point in time. It loses that oomph that it had when it first opened.
Is it not digital?
Ours is, I think it is digital, but even then, it still is not.
It's not like what it was when I moved here,
Yeah, it's kind of like for the longest time for me, Muppets seemed like it was crystal clear, even though it was on film. I mean, film is still high resolution, but as the projectors wear down and the film wears down, it will start going downhill too. So while the actual digital file won't actually, that won't wear down, but the projecting technology still will get old. I mean, otherwise everyone would just invest in projectors because they would last a lifetime. But I look forward to having another thing at California Adventure that hopefully will not have a long line all the time. So when I need that escape from the heat, kind of like I do in Magic Kingdom, I know I can walk in there and watch the 10-15 minute show there and cool down a little bit and then get back out into the brutality of the weather. So good for that. I hope one day they open up the curtains and Statler and Waldorf are still hanging up there in their balcony.
They just comment on the Mickey's PhilHer Magic.
I really do like this show a lot here in World, but I am looking forward to seeing if in Disneyland the queue smells a little bit better, because our queue here in world kind of smells like wet socks.
Well, it's that we have that problem where, like, once it starts downpouring in the Magic Kingdom, it's in that one area where it seems like the wind always gusts the rain, so the carpet's always soaked in the front there.
Yeah.
But I look forward to it. For me, I never went in there before. It was just always the movie previews, so it's kind of like I'd rather something than nothing. I don't know. That's how I feel about it. And I am a fan of PhilHerMagic. I like it. Every time I'm done watching it, I'm like, ooh, I want to go back and watch those movies now. But we had another fun thing open up. That was the Pop-Up Disney at Downtown Disney, which, again, if you follow us on Instagram, you would have seen several posts, or if you follow pretty much anybody who lives or goes near Disneyland, it's been all over social media and stuff. But it looks like, according to Morgan, so this opened Friday, April 26th, and it featured... What? Or did you just sneeze? Sorry, I thought you said something. It featured 7 Mickey-themed rooms, and each room had multiple photo ops within the room. And you started with Mickey and Minnie's Love, which is all about Mickey and Minnie with a giant bow couch. It's got hearts everywhere and a pink and purple gallery wall of Mickey and Minnie. It all started with a mouse, and that's the black and white throwback room that has Steamboat Willie and a Plain Crazy area for photographs. Then there's Mickey's Friendship Room, where Mickey's friends created a Mickey masterpiece, each representing their own style that fits the character creating it. So, like, Goofy's artwork is a finger painting of Mickey. And then there's Sorcerer Mickey's Magic Room, which is a walk through Neon Water Hall to get to a mural of Sorcerer Mickey with twinkling lights around him. And then Mickey Around the World room, which features 2 themed international rooms with a bunch of postcards of that new Mickey style, along with other walls. Forever Mickey, which is a bunch of neon mirrors and tons of ears hats. And then Mickey at Disneyland is the final room with a giant Mickey balloon you can take a picture inside of. So the tickets for this start at $30 for weekdays, Monday through Thursday before 4 p.m., and $38 for evenings and weekends.
Per person?
Yeah, that seems like a lot for 7. I mean, I do really want to do it. It looks really cool. All the photos look a lot of fun, but I don't know about... I'm not going to knock anybody who does it, because I know Luella's going to do it. But
I got my ticket.
Yeah.
I love pop-up rooms, though. Like, let's just get that. Whenever there's a pop-up in LA, I'm driving down there, Museum of Ice Cream, Fa La Land, whatever. So I think it just is following that trend of going to all these different rooms and taking pictures and posting. But me and my girlfriends were going, got matching shirts, got matching ears. We can't wait. So I think there's a crowd. Obviously, I'm one of them that loves to do that stuff. And I think it's about time that Disney did something, because there's always a pop-up in LA, a new type of pop-up. And I was just waiting for a Disney one to come up.
It feels very, to me, it feels California, because as someone who grew up in Pennsylvania, obviously not when these kind of things were happening, and now Florida, this just sounds like a foreign concept to me. Especially if you go at night where it's $38. I'm paying $38 to have my picture taken in front of walls. It seems very old school Olin Mills style. We need to get our Christmas cards here at Pop-Up. So it's for people who enjoy it, more power to them. I cannot ever donate a single penny of my hard-earned income on going to something like this. It just has zero appeal. And so like you said, you had matching outfits and stuff. That's cool. I want to know these people who I have seen them wear a different outfit in every room. Did they bring a bag to change clothes in?
That's
or
a good point.
have they already spent however much it costs to get in times 7 to have a photo with different outfits every single time? It's blowing my mind that people to go once. I'm not going to knock anyone, but to go multiple times just so you can wear different outfits, that's where I'm gonna draw the line, and I'm gonna start criticizing you for your choices.
But I think you're right. This is like a Southern California thing. This is not the first pop-up that has come along, and so knowing what the rooms are and seeing other people's pictures, I can imagine people probably change their clothes, and that's not foreign to me. I think that's kind of scary. That like I can understand that, but I know it's temporary, and they're using that space.
Is it though? How temporary do you think it is?
I don't think it'll be around.
I have my proof right here.
I'm not sure, but I know that, for example, the pop-ups that come around in LA, they're not there for a while.
The limited availability is part of it, right? You know,
in the merchandise article that came out last week, they talked about a pin release the first Thursday of every month, and there are 6 letters in Mickey's name. Oh. So it'll be at least through the end of the year, maybe. So not too temporary.
Yeah. I mean, like not just a month. It's going to be a little bit longer.
Yeah, it'll be.
Well, here's the deal, though. If they aren't going to bulldoze that building for a new hotel or anything else, you know, it's
what building is it in?
It's the old ESPN.
Okay.
zone.
Okay.
So you can have it sitting dormant, or you can, if you're going to keep it long term, then you can charge a different outside restaurant company to come in and manage it, and then just take your rent or whatever deals they have in place. I don't know how that works with third party, but they can do all that, or they can set up this cheap thrown together this situation, charge it, get that money right in their pocket. And as long as people are still going, they know they have guaranteed money. Yeah. Why not just have it last as long as possible?
I cannot get the idea of it being like a Sears family photo now that you've said that out of my head. Like people going in the turtlenecks and like holding each other in front of the Mickey things. But I am with you, Luella, on this sort of thing. Like I have followed that Museum of Ice Cream like nobody's business, because I like the idea of this place that creates somewhere that even the worst photographer can still take a good picture in there. You know, everywhere makes you, the average person, look like, I don't want to say a model, but I want to say a Sears model. So, you know.
Yeah, and I think this is definitely like a big thing for Instagram and other forms of social, but also like a locals thing. Like if I was going to Disneyland on vacation and you were like, hey, want to pay $30 to take some pictures in these rooms? I'd be like, no way. But when I was living in California and we were going to Disneyland like every so often, and you know, I was with my wife and we wanted to try something new and we saw this, we might be a little bit more intrigued. But if I was there on vacation, I wouldn't want to spend extra money, and I also wouldn't want to spend the extra time.
I wish I could have just like made it into like more of a museum too. Like at least if I'm going to spend the money and take pictures and stuff, at least I can actually learn something from it too, and not just make it a complete vain opportunity as you're going through.
Yeah,
I could see that aspect of it too, but
I think the success will be is it repeatable? I mean, are people going to want to go more than once? Because if it's just, you know, go take a picture and you're done with it, it's not going to. There's no way it's going to succeed.
If they don't change the pop-up, I don't think there's any way it will, because like I really think this is going to be appealing to people who do Instagram, and they're not going to want more than one room pictures, more than one set of them, and locals, and then the locals are going to get bored of them, and it's not going to be worth their time and money, just like it wouldn't be to like a vacationer. So they'd have to switch it up.
I disagree. I think the Instagrammers are going to come the first time on their own in the one outfit they choose. They're going to come back in their second outfit, maybe a third outfit. Then they're going to come in and they're going to take their collaboration photos with their one friend, but then they're going to get it reached out by someone else and say, well, we need to collaborate in here. And they're going to take their second collaboration. And like, I know this happens because I follow people for some reason who do this. And I constantly say to myself, why am I still following them when their lifestyle annoys me so much?
They're sneak in their Mickey bars and their Dole Whips and take pictures with that.
And now that we've okay, so it's like they're making $30 to $38 a person. That's probably more than the average person that went into ESPN was spending, and there's no like, we have the cost of the burger and the food and stuff. So now you've said that, Craig, and I can't help but think this is going to be insanely profitable for them with so limited amount of work. But I hope like it stays around, because then imagine at Christmas they could do a holiday setting, you know, and have all these different like holiday rooms and whatever. I'm excited, but that got more. Go ahead.
I'll be there in 2 weeks, and I'll send my pictures to you,
Please
Craig, with
do.
all my different outfits.
I can't wait. No, but yeah, that got a lot more conversation than I expected. So
A lot of feelings.
this in other news as well. We still so Avengers Endgame breaking all box office records like crazy, and whenever a big Marvel movie comes out, that means there's a little like unannounced mini celebration at California Adventure. I feel like so the current like figures that you can definitely see every day are Spider-Man, Captain America, Black Panther, and Captain Marvel. But I think to kind of celebrate the release of this film, we've heard that Thor, Loki, Black Widow, and Hawkeye have been being seen around the park, where Morgan says Thor and Hawkeye will be visiting in the mornings, and Loki and Black Widow will be in the afternoons. So you got to keep your eyes out, and they're probably just kind of, if it's anything like they've done in the past, they were just like roaming down that like in that Hollywood land area and kind of like on Buena Vista Street ish.
Well, and the party is what the second party's tonight, Wednesday, the superhero, Disneyland After Dark. So they probably brought him in for that and just
wait a minute,
brought him in early or something.
So all these special characters that you were supposed to be like, you can see them at the party, they brought them all out to the general public the week of the actual party.
I'm guessing.
Wow. What are you paying for the party for? To see Iron Man? Because I know he's the only one that's not coming out during the day.
Yeah.
Interesting. Anyway, so there's that, and then apparently they gave out a button for when Endgame came out on Friday. So, woo. One more. I think I have one more thing here. Luella, there was an event this weekend, right, at California Adventure that you got to go to, FanFest?
Yeah,
you want to tell us about that?
A little stroll by. If you're a big fan of the Disney Channel, and I do have some little kids, they had a Disney Channel Fan Fest pretty much all day on Sunday, and the stars were there.
I saw Raven.
So, yeah, they had a party cavalcade in the morning. That's similar if you've been to the D23 Expo, where the cars go by carrying the celebrities, and that way you can for sure see them. But they had a main stage. Pretty much every single hour they were highlighting the cast of a lot of the Disney Channel shows. And I think the big one, the finale, was at 6 p.m., The Descendants 3. They also had meet and greets with a lot of the celebrities. You had to get a wristband ahead of the time. So I just kind of swung by. My son definitely cannot handle seeing the whole thing, but we just wanted to peek, and I was able to see some celebrities. I think it was from Andy and Mac. They were on stage. So, definitely Disney Channel. But if you're a big fan of Disney Channel, it was great. They were giving away fans and bags and buttons, and then the meet and greet, and then there was backdrops to take pictures. And I didn't find it at all too overwhelmingly crowded. I think probably the Descendants 3 at the end at 6 p.m. I didn't stick around for that. That one was probably the big finale. That one was probably pretty crazy. But earlier in the day, it was it was in that area, Paradise Pier, right by Little Mermaid. So.
Oh, well, they did it over there. Okay.
Yeah, that stage.
The way they were doing the music for the Food and Wine Festival?
Yes, round over there. And I felt it was really spread out. So all the way down to Paradise Pier, like the meet and greets were spread out. I know that you had to have a wristband, but if you stuck around in the morning and saw the cavalcade, you probably could have seen a lot of the celebrities ahead of time. And then, but I know some people are big fans of that. So to be able to be that close to some of these stars is a great thing. So it was nice. Yeah, I got a button.
It reminds me, it's like kind of like how they used to do Super Soap Weekend at Hollywood Studios, and they'd have all the soap opera stars. It's like that version, but Disney Channel. Like you could do the wristbands and meet people. But I liked it. I mean, I saw my friend met Raven and Cheyenne Jackson, who's playing Hades in Descendants 3. But it looked fun. It looked cool, especially for like kids, like you said, who get to meet, I don't know. That's the wonderful thing about California. You kind of you can meet your, like, if you're a kid, you got that, or anybody, I guess. The talent goes there, But
Yeah.
So also, Black Tap Craft Burgers and Shakes, which still does not have an opening date announced yet, had its cast member preview on Friday, I guess. So I saw some photos popping up on Instagram and Twitter and stuff of the shakes over there that look exactly like they did in the media photos too. So who knows? Maybe by the time this is out, you can walk by and they'll be doing a soft opening, and maybe you can experience that and have yourself a shake or a burger or whatever. I don't know. Morgan wrote something else in here, though. She wrote Crazy Shake by Black Tap. Just had their cast member preview. I don't know what that is. Is that like, does Black Tap have two entrances to it?
Is that maybe like a to-go milkshakes or something?
They have a to-go window for milkshakes, yeah. For their crazy, they call them crazy shakes because they're crazy, I guess. But
okay, so then
to-go window.
Then that makes me wonder, so the restaurant might not even be opening. It might just be the to-go part of it.
No, I definitely saw food.
You did? Okay.
So
I only saw the milkshake.
People were getting food. It's all over the place on that. So, like you said, it might.
Yeah.
We're recording this a couple days ahead of its release, so they could have already had its grand opening by the time this is released. It could still be in soft openings. It could be anything, but regardless, it'll add another restaurant into downtown Disney. So this is like, there are other Black Taps. Right?
Yeah, there's in New York.
Like,
there's one in
okay,
New York. Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, I think it's cool. We're gonna be. I'm sure it'll be open by the time we're out there. So I'll probably pop in and check it out at some point.
Good burger.
Yeah, good burger. Big. Anyway, that's a universal quote we were gonna go into, but it's fine. Okay, well, we're done with that. Updates are done. Whatever. Let's play.
Rhino, can we just mention that today is the start of the new rules for smoking and strollers?
Yeah, tell us about it. Do you know them off the top of your head?
Yeah, like no smoking in the parks, no smoking in downtown Disney.
Hey.
Rumor is the smoking area is going to be outside, secured at the secured area.
So you have to go out of security and come back into security.
Yes, correct. Okay. And then there's a new stroller test area, Luella?
Yeah, so, and the Mickey and Friends parking lot, once you go down the escalator, there, right before you enter the security queue, there is a taped out area on the ground where you can put your stroller in, and 31 inches by 52 inches, you can definitely see if your stroller fits the rules. And so I had heard actually Keen's wagons fit that, but you know that you can't bring the wagon, anything wagon white, whether you push it or pull it. But strollers, you know, it's a big space actually. I saw a big tandem stroller that fit in there. So, but at least you know for sure before you even go into security at Mickey and Friends. I'm assuming that's also the same at Toy Story. I haven't seen the Toy Story or by the hotels, but that was already in place over the weekend.
So you have to be able to push the stroller. You can't pull it. That's right. That's a part of the verbiage now.
You have to be able to push, but I had read that even a pushing wagon, there's no wagons allowed.
Okay, because with the photo that you posted, I did see, it did look to me like, I was like, looks about the size of those Keen's wagons. That's why I was kind of like, oh, okay. I've been yelling at them as they've been going by, being like, your time's up. And now I'm worried they're going to fight back.
Well, yeah, because, I mean, let's be real. We've all seen the strollers that have, like, it's the one seat in the front and one seat in the back. Those are pretty much the same length as a wagon.
Yeah.
So it's the same concept, just not like all the storage in it. Do you think they'll ever add a height restriction? And I know that's a stupid question, but I imagine a day, like eventually they start whittling this down to being one stroller size. And then out of nowhere, people start coming up with like triple decker strollers. And then they can't see over top of them and they're running into people.
Like in the restaurant where you have the shelves that carry the multiple things of food. They're just babies that you're pushing around like kids or whatever. I mean,
know, it's crazy. There's some pretty big strollers out there, but at least with Mickey and Friends, if your stroller doesn't fit, it's not that far for you just to go back up the escalator and put your stroller away.
That is nice, yeah. That way you don't get all the way to the park and get in and they're like, hey, you have to turn this around. That, you know, it adds some ease to the day, I feel like there.
Yeah, it's right before security, so you haven't even gone through security yet.
I did see a woman go through security here the other day with the loose ice in, but loose ice as in she Ziploc bagged it inside of her cooler. But it was definitely ice from her refrigerator or freezer, whatever. So
not today.
Well, that already went into effect, so that was
Did it?
weird.
Okay.
The security guard just picked the bag up and put the bag down, and that's why I
Wow.
was like, I thought you weren't supposed to have the loose ice at all, whether it was in a bag or not. So I don't know if because it's in the bag that redefines it being loose or not.
Yeah, I mean, well, technically, it's not. It's bagged ice then.
Yeah, that's
Loose
what-
ice would just be sitting in a bag.
That's
but
what-
if it's,
yeah.
Yeah, if it's in a bag, then it's bagged ice, regardless of the fact of whether or not it's loose or all one solid object.
Ice, the philosophical debate of ice.
I also feel like the smoking thing, especially now, no smoking in the parks, nothing in downtown Disney, all of it's outside of the security gate. I feel like that's gonna probably. I'm interested to see if it causes problems because I feel like if you just had one area, like even if it was in the was it called the vestibule or the area in between the two
Esplanade.
parks?
Oh, Esplanade, yeah.
Yeah, the Esplanade. Even if it was just one designated area in there, that would be better because you could direct people and say, "This is where you have to go, sir or ma'am." But the fact that it's just like it basically doesn't exist in the vicinity, people are just gonna, I mean,
Yeah, I
do
feel
whatever
like,
they
Yeah, you
want.
have that fear it's going to be kind of chaos. They're going to light up
Right.
wherever they want to go. I think it's going to be and Craig mentioned this too. I think that's on the cast members to kind of enforce that rule.
I'll enforce it as a guest. If I see someone smoking anywhere in the parks vaping, I have no problem going up to them and letting them know. And then next thing I do, if I see them do it again, I'll go to a security cast member as soon as I see one and let them know what's happening. You got to obey the rules.
Well, and so the thing is, we should have invested in the stock of nicotine patches. And I am still on the thing where, like, wait till they make the ones that are shaped like the castle and like Tinkerbell and whatever. They're coming. All right.
just look at those Disney discount gift shops around the area. You might be able to find them.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, there's going to be a surge on it. So just if you're going and you are a smoker or anything like that, mentally prepare yourself. But yeah, thank you, Tom. Now I want to play a game. So let's do our bracket. And today we did this once before. We found out the ultimate thrill ride at Disneyland Resort, which I believe was Indiana Jones, is what we came to the consensus on. And today we're going to find out the best dark ride at Disneyland Resort. Okay, so we have 16 in this list. I'm just going to run it all through. So we've got Alice in Wonderland, Haunted Mansion, Finding Nemo, Toy Story Midway Mania, Winnie the Pooh, Little Mermaid, Pinocchio, Pirates, Monsters Inc., Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Peter Pan, Roger Rabbit, Cartoon Spin, Small World, Soarin', Snow White, and Buzz. I know I said some of the full names and some I did not. I don't know where the note is where I wrote everything out completely and entirely. I apologize. If you want to know the full names, we have a wonderful website, WDW Info. You can check that out.
Disney info.
DisneyInfo.com. Why I said WDW Info on the Disneyland show is crazy. So anyway, let's get started. All right. So here's our first challenge. All right.
And you had to put Alice up against Haunted Mansion.
No, I actually read them out of order. So Alice in Wonderland is going to go up against Finding Nemo submarines. So Corey, what do you think?
I actually haven't done Finding Nemo, but I think it's okay for me to still vote for Alice because it's like my favorite thing. My favorite theme is the classic Alice in Wonderland, and I love that ride. When we were there this last time, I rode it more than any other attraction. I want to say probably 5 times, but that's my vote, Alice.
Okay, that's one for Alice. Luella, what do you think?
Oh, Alice, hands down. I love that ride. I can ride it over and over if the line wasn't so long. But
Okay.
Alice.
Okay. Tom, what about you?
Yeah, it's got to be Alice in Wonderland.
All right, Craig, do you want input? I know
Oh
it's
yeah,
already
no,
swayed.
I do like Finding Nemo submarine voyage. I love going in the submarines. I feel like the projections in there just get more and more garbage each single time I go on it. So unless I'm waiting 5 minutes, it's getting harder to justify going on that attraction. So Alice, hands down.
All right, and I was going to say Alice as well because just like I feel like I am with you. I do enjoy the submarines, but sometimes it can be a little claustrophobic, and sometimes it's the length and the process of getting in there. And yes, Alice is a long ride, but I think Alice
could be
is cool.
winning this. It could
Oh,
be
you
winning.
think so?
It could.
Okay. All right. Take your bets. Place your bets. Find your bookies. Let's go. All right. So the next two together, this isn't really a hard one. I really kind of blindfolded wrote these down. So it's Winnie the Pooh versus Pirates of the Caribbean. And Craig, I'm going to turn this back over to you.
Well, it's easy. I mean, Pirates of the Caribbean, obviously, but Winnie the Pooh should never win anything because it destroyed Country Bear Jamboree out in
The mini
Disneyland.
adventures,
So,
took it away from us.
deserves to die a horrible, horrible death.
my goodness.
It's a fun ride, though. I like it. It's not as good as ours. So
I agree,
But,
yeah.
Pirates.
But I do love the nod to the destruction of the Country Bear Jamboree that's in there with the 3 heads on the wall if you turn around. But
Not sure if that's a nod or if they just didn't take them down.
if they were just lazy. Luella, what do you think?
Oh, pirates! My kids love Winnie the Pooh. I like Winnie the Pooh too, but pirates, you can't compare it to pirates. I love pirates.
Yeah. I agree. I'm going to say Pirates as well. Corey?
So Pirates, hands down, feet up. Like, I love the Pirates here in World, but the Pirates in Land is like twice as cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
You got the extra scenes. You got an extra drop.
yeah,
you
it
know.
feels like it's like double the ride. It's
Yeah.
awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. Tom?
There are dark rides that Winnie the Pooh would beat, but not Pirates.
Okay. All right. So that's another unanimous decision. That's Alice and Pirates are moving on to round 2. Next up, I feel like this one's a little tough, and they're very similar. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride versus Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. Corey?
I hate spinning, and I love the nostalgia of Mr. Toad's. I think it's really cool. It's a short little ride, but I'm gonna go with Toad's.
You're going with Toad. Okay. Tom? I know it's tough. It's tough.
It's a tough one, yeah. I will go with Roger Rabbit. It's fun.
All right. Luella, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going with Roger Rabbit. I love Roger Rabbit, and I don't like to end up in hell. That's just me.
She doesn't like being murdered on rides. Trains running you over and whatnot. Okay. Craig?
I love Mr. Toad's Wild Ride because it keeps the spirit of Mr. Toad around, even though we lost it here at Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
And Walt Disney World had the superior version of the attraction.
Destroyed by Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah.
the attraction killer.
Yeah, all the way around. But Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, it brings to life an aspect of one of my favorite movies, and that's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. So even though I don't care for the attraction that much, I like it better in a way still.
Okay, I can see that. So that's what was that? That's 3 for Roger Rabbit, 1 for Mr. Toad. So it's pretty much been decided. But I am on that fence. I am with you, Corey. I don't like to spin, and I will desperately hold this wheel until it tries to pop my arm out of the socket. Like, I hurt my arm the last time holding it too hard. And but like I'll say what I like about Roger Rabbit. So for me, it's going to edge out Mr. Toad just a little bit, is the 3-dimensional aspect of all the figurines that are in there. Like, I feel like it's similar to Mr. Toad where you're going through all this, bing, bang, zap, whatever. Yeah, I said words like that. And then, but it's like 3-dimensional creation of that. Plus, when he reaches his arm out at the end and you get to go through the hole, I always think that's the coolest effect ever, So, so yeah, Roger Rabbit wins that one. Sorry, Roger wins. All right, here we go. Small World versus Snow White, which is actually called, I forget the full title of it.
Snow White's Scary Adventure.
Scary Adventures. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was Snow White, Scary Adventures, or the Queens, but yeah. Okay, Craig.
Oh man, this is a tough one on here. I don't feel like either one of them will make it too many more rounds, so I'm not going to get emotionally invested in this. For me, I will say I'm going with Snow White's Scary Adventures, just because it's there have been visits to Disneyland where I just haven't had enough time to dedicate to riding It's a Small World, but I feel like I can always get on Snow White's Scary Adventures, and I always make time for it. So I guess clearly I put a preference to that one.
I actually got scared on that ride too
Okay.
once. Like it's the slowest moving thing ever, and one of the alligators moved just right when I wasn't looking, and I got scared because it was the dark. Luella, what do you think?
Oh, I love It's a Small World. I love Disneyland's version of It's a Small World with all the Disney characters in there, and its relation back to the 1963 World's Fair. It has a lot of nostalgia for me, so it's a Small World, and the facade is just fantastic.
Yeah, I do love your facade. Corey, what do you think?
So I'm similar to Craig here. I like both attractions. I'm gonna lean towards Small World because, while I'm not like crazy for either of them, I do have an actual emotional attachment to Small World from when I was a kid. So I'm gonna throw my vote there.
Small World. Okay, all right. Tom, what do you think?
I like the new effects they added. Was it 5 or 10 years ago, or maybe not that long? In Snow White, but Luella just reminded me about the characters in Small World, and so I'm gonna have to go with Small World.
Yeah, I actually do love both these rides. And the Snow White Scary Adventures, we don't have an attraction similar to that anymore, and so I remember going on this when I was a kid at Disney World, our version, but there's just something about the combination of like the facade of Small World. I like seeing the rhino topiary that's out front, and I really like how all the characters were incorporated into your Small World, and so I'm gonna go with Small World too because the holiday overlay really pushes it through for me, and I know that's supposed to be technically a different attraction, but so that Small World wins that one. Next up we have Haunted Mansion versus Toy Story Midway Mania. Not Midway Mania, that's not what it's called out there, just Toy Story Mania.
Toy Story Mania.
Corey.
Or is it Midway Mania?
That's a really tough one.
No.
Now, I love the Toy Story films and I love that ride, but just based on
It is called Toy Story
when
Mania.
I think of like a classic, or not even classic because these aren't all classics, but when I think of like a Disney dark ride, and what I love about Disney dark rides, I mean, I can't not put Haunted Mansion through. So, Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. I myself, I'm going to say Haunted Mansion as well, because for me, I do think it is one of the most, even if the effects are like basic, I still feel like it's one of the most innovative rides that I've ever done. And I'll have this debate forever where people are like, Flight of Passage. And I'm like, no, but look at like all the things that Haunted Mansion combines with it. It's an omni-mover. It's got these really cool physical, practical effects in it. It tells this story. It's just, I love spooky fun. Craig, what do you think?
I'll probably say Haunted Mansion on it, but they're both really fun attractions.
Yeah. I like the interactivity of Toy Story for sure. Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, Haunted Mansion, definitely.
And Luella?
Yeah, Haunted Mansion.
Okay. I feel like we all knew it was going to happen, but when an attraction gets kicked out, it doesn't mean it's not good. With the exception of like one or two on here. Okay, next up we have Little Mermaid versus Pinocchio. Luella.
Little Mermaid versus
Pinocchio's Daring Journey.
Yeah, Pinocchio's Daring Journey in Fantasyland.
Oh, I love Little Mermaid. It's a cute ride, and it's exactly what I feel a nice story about a movie should be. I like it. It's Little Mermaid.
Oh, Little Mermaid. Okay. All right, Tom, what do you think?
I'm throwing a vote to Pinocchio.
Pinocchio, Little Mermaid. Craig.
Oh, 100% Pinocchio. So nothing against Little Mermaid. It's got some cool scenes, but I hate the dancing Ariel when she's under the sea. It looks so
creepy.
creepy.
Right
Yeah,
too.
and it's like I just want to move. I just want to move. But Pinocchio is classic. I love the movie Pinocchio. It's probably my favorite Disney movie. So, Pinocchio.
So for me, this one's kind of tough because I didn't do Pinocchio on our last trip, and I don't really have like a solid memory of it. I'm sure I did it like years ago, but I just don't have a solid memory of it. And I do like Little Mermaid. So, Rhino, you're going to have to break the tie.
Oh, Little Mermaid. Okay, so I do agree. I do like them both. I love the Ursula animatronic in Little Mermaid, Ariel's Undersea Adventure. Is it the one in Walt Disney World or the one in Disneyland that doesn't have an end, though? I think it's the one in Disneyland, isn't it? Where it just cuts to a picture of Ursula being like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
So that knocks it for me because Pinocchio, I feel like, tells the full story, and it has the cool like where he. No, wait. Is that Winnie the Pooh that leaves his body? No, Pinocchio comes the blue fairy, like where she fades into the room. I like that part. This is tough. I'm gonna go with Pinocchio only because we don't have it in Disney World either. So it's like it makes it a little extra special for me. So Pinocchio edged out Little Mermaid. Next up, we have Monsters Inc. The Mike and Sully to the Rescue versus Peter Pan's Flight. Ooh, Craig.
Oh, this is a lot tougher for me. I usually try to do Peter Pan's Flight about every other trip at Disneyland, and I do think it's a classic. The first time I went to Disneyland, I remember sacrificing doing like a couple rides because we wanted to wait in the hour-long wait for Peter Pan's Flight. But in terms of the enjoyment I get out of it, I get more enjoyment out of getting on Monsters, Inc. really quickly and seeing how dumb there are in certain parts of that attraction versus the long wait for a very short ride on Peter Pan's Flight. So I'm going Monsters, Inc.
Okay, Monsters Inc. All right, Corey, what do you think?
I really do like both of these rides a lot. And we do only have Monsters Inc. in California. We got Peter Pan's Flight on both coasts, but I still have to give it to Peter. I just love the feels I get on that attraction. I love them too much. So
Okay, Tom, what do you think?
I'm with Craig. The weight factor has to be taken into account. Yeah, I'll go with Monsters Inc.
All right, Luella, what do you think?
I love them both, but I love that I'm flying in Peter Pan, and yeah, it's long, but I get out of there and I'm always happy, so I'm going to go with Peter Pan.
Gosh, another tiebreaker. Jeez
It's
Louise.
me and Luella and Tom and Craig passing it off to you to break it.
Okay, so I do like them both. I do agree. I will never really do a long wait for Peter Pan, and I actually don't like the Disney version of Peter Pan that much. I love the book, and it doesn't resonate with me as much as other things. I don't hate it. It doesn't do it much. However, that room that you fly into and it's all the stars and you can see the little tiny Neverland down there, and then that's where you are in the next scene. I think that's one of the coolest things ever. So it still gives me like chills. So I am going to give it to Peter Pan. So that leaves us with one more versus here, and that's Soarin' Over California versus Buzz Lightyear, Space Ranger Spin. Luella.
Wait, Soarin', which one?
Soarin' versus Buzz Lightyear.
Soarin' Around the World or Soarin' Over California?
Oh, I'm sorry. Soarin' Around the World. Wait. Yeah, Soarin' Around the World. I said the wrong one.
I'm going to choose Buzz Lightyear because I'm still trying to hit over 1 million, and it's and I just enjoy it. It's so interactive, and we have a lot of fun when I go with my family.
Yeah.
So I'm choosing Buzz Lightyear.
Okay, so I don't have to break a tie at all. I'm choosing Buzz Lightyear right now. I love this ride. I know not everyone does, but I love that you can pull the blasters up here. I love the end scene with Zurg out there. I love there's so many like hidden Z's. I just feel like I'm able to be more interactive with the attraction there than I am at Disney World. And I also like how the story is it's not the same story, and I feel like it's told a little bit more cohesively with Buzz Lightyear's actual show. But Craig.
Oh, I know you said people don't like it specifically in reference
yes,
to me.
Yes, you know. I wasn't calling you
I don't really care for Soarin' Around the World, but I dislike Buzz Lightyear even more than that. I feel like I need
right now.
I feel like I need a hepatitis shot every time I get on that attraction.
You got to bring your wipes with you. Wipe it all down. Corey, what do you think?
Rusty.
If we were talking about Soarin' Over California, that's what I would put through. But I got a little bit of a disappointment when they swapped it, and I was like, "Oh, is this really an upgrade?" It's a really cool concept, but the calibration and everything. And I do enjoy Buzz, even though I'm terrible at it. I never get a good score, but I'm going to put through Buzz.
All right, Tom. What's your say here?
Yeah, Soaring Around the World sucks. I'll go for Buzz Lightyear.
All right, so Buzz makes it through. All right, here we go. Alice in Wonderland versus Pirates of the Caribbean. Craig.
Oh.
Tough choices.
That is tough. Yeah, I see. And I thought Alice, if she would have been put up against someone else, she could have went to the last round.
Oh, definitely.
But after this last change to Pirates of the Caribbean, where they added back in all the sound effects going through the one cavern, and then the change from the skeleton
I
into
love
the
that.
human, like, to me that just adds that extra oomph that it didn't, that I always appreciated the ride, but now it's even better in my opinion. So Pirates.
Okay. Luella, what do you think? Pirates or Alice in Wonderland?
Gosh, I love both rides, but Pirates has to, I have to choose Pirates.
All right. Tom, what do you think?
I'm going to go against the trend and go with Alice.
Okay. Corey.
Now, these are probably my favorite two on that list entirely, like number 1 and number 2, and they're my favorites for two completely different reasons.
Oh.
But I have
Sophie's choice here.
to sway more towards Pirates because it's just so cool.
Yeah. They're both opening day attractions, am I right? No, Alice came later?
Alice did not. Yeah, and Pirates came
Neither did
way
Pirates.
later.
I'm sorry. But Pirates came within Walt Disney's lifetime, yes. Right?
No.
No, it was built after he left, after he passed away. I don't know. I for some reason thought he had a hand in that, but wow, that changes things for me. I don't know. I'm going to put through Pirates, obviously. I do not like the auction scene, and it has nothing to do with it being changed, though. I just don't like the sound of Red's voice. I would be okay. There's something about it. It doesn't fit in with the other voices or something, but I don't care that they changed it. But I will put in Pirates. Pirates makes it through. So,
And just to clarify, Walt did work on Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
It was his bait. He just didn't see it open.
okay, that's that. I thought he was involved with conceptualization and stuff. So that's why I'm like, okay. Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin versus Small World. Corey.
Yeah, again, I mean, I gotta go with Small World. I'm not like super crazy about either of them, but I do have that attachment to Small World a little bit. I wouldn't win against other things that are my favorite, but Small World.
Okay. Tom, what do you think?
I'll go with Small World.
All right, Small World. Luella?
Oh, Small World, especially they got Lilo and Stitch there. Small World.
Craig, what do you think?
I'm still going to side with Roger Rabbit on that, but it's very close.
Yeah. I do like them both, but I'm going to say Small World again because of the I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't even have this like connection to Small World really, like, but I find that every time I get off of the one over there, I'm just like, yeah, I like that more than I thought I did, you know?
This is making me happy because next time we go out to California and I actively avoid all of you people, I can say, well, look back at this bracket challenge. You didn't want to ride the same stuff as me. So that's why I'm not with you.
We're really breaking this down, how to avoid your fellow employees. I don't know. Okay, Haunted Mansion versus Pinocchio. For me, it's going to be Haunted Mansion. Corey?
Yeah, I gotta put through Haunted Mansion. I gotta.
Craig?
Pinocchio for me.
Pinocchio. Luella?
Haunted Mansion. Got the Hatbox goes too. So Haunted Mansion.
Yeah. I also really enjoy, and I feel like it's incredibly underrated because we don't really have them here. They don't look the same. Is the scary trees when you go backwards? I think they're incredible there. We have trees, but they don't have the scary faces. I don't know. Tom, what do you think?
Haunted Mansion.
All right, Haunted Mansion makes it through, and now Peter Pan's Flight versus Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Craig.
Oh, Peter Pan's Flight. Buzz is the worst.
Yeah. Okay. Corey.
Pan. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely Pan.
Tom.
Peter Pan versus Buzz?
Yeah.
Buzz.
I am also going to put Buzz Lightyear down. So, Luella, you have to be the tiebreaker now.
Oh God, I'm gonna choose Peter Pan.
Oh. Oh.
I love Peter Pan.
All right.
This is a really strong Final Four.
Okay, yep. So the next round here, we've got Pirates of the Caribbean versus Small World. Luella, what do you think?
Oh gosh, I'm gonna go. Oh, this is hard. I love them both, but I'm going with It's a Small World. That's really one of my favorite rides.
Okay.
I love it.
Tom, what do you think?
Small World.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness.
Craig, what do you think?
I'm going with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay. Corey, what do you think?
I'm honestly having anxiety of how tight
know,
this
it's
already
getting
is.
stressful.
Both awesome boat rides, but Pirates, gotta say Pirates.
Great.
yeah.
Okay, another tiebreaker for me. So when people start leaving comments in the comments section about how terrible we are, it all comes back to me. It's a very difficult choice here for me. I am gonna go with Pirates because I like, again, practical effects, and the thing that really edges out for me is the skeleton, the guy that goes from the skeleton into the man with his little octopus friend that's waving around at the bottom. So Pirates makes it through to the final round. Now we've got Haunted Mansion versus Peter Pan. Tom.
Haunted Mansion.
Okay. Craig, what do you think? It's tough.
I'd say Haunted Mansion still. Neither of these two are my favorite, but
Okay. Luella, what do you think?
I'm taking Haunted Mansion. Ballroom scene's awesome.
Yeah. Corey.
It already won at this point, and Haunted Mansion, I'm not saying Haunted Mansion, but Haunted Mansion probably could have beaten out most attractions, but in this specific pairing, I'm going to say Peter Pan.
Oh.
Just because of the feels I get.
Okay, more emotional there. Yeah. Okay, I am going to say Haunted Mansion too, but yeah, I can. All right, so this is a tough one. Final round. Pirates of the Caribbean versus Haunted Mansion. I almost feel like you kind of think these are the two rides that are going to go against each other,
yeah,
but
that was a really good Final Four too.
we'd have to jumble it up again, and you could play this game differently.
I would have put Alice versus Pirates is the final, in my opinion, on that. But you made the bracket.
Those are my favorite two
I
rides
tried
too.
I randomized it too, so I don't. It's one of those. It's just how the chips fall sometimes. But so Pirates versus Haunted Mansion, Luella.
I'm gonna go with Haunted Mansion. I think it's well done. You go down this elevator. It's kind of creepy, but not too scary.
Yeah.
And the song is catchy. I'm going with Haunted Mansion.
Okay. Craig, what do you think?
I have to go with Pirates of the Caribbean because in terms of, I know this is about Disneyland, but obviously Disney fans want to get to as many parks as possible. And if we just look at domestic, we can say that Disneyland has the best domestic version of Pirates of the Caribbean, but I don't think that's true with the Haunted Mansion. So just with that taken into consideration.
I would definitely agree with you because I think we get to ride through more stuff and we've got a whole extra room that they don't have in their Haunted Mansion. So that's a good thing. Tom, what do you think?
I am going to go for Haunted Mansion.
Okay.
Wow.
Corey, what do you think?
It would be a lot closer if we were comparing Pirates and Haunted here in World, but we're comparing Disneyland, and because of that, it's a little bit farther away. And I'm going with Pirates because it's just so cool. You have like double the ride, that cavernous cave that you're going through at the beginning, and even before that, like when you're just kind of going down like a bayou and there's like a little house. It's just an awesome ride.
So I have to break this time.
Yeah, again.
Great. Okay, it is very close. I do agree that I think Disneyland has the best version of Pirates of the Caribbean, Disney World, best version of Haunted Mansion, and I think Pirates is a do not miss ride. I mean, I would say the same about Haunted Mansion, if you've never been to this park, but we are just talking about Disneyland, and they both kind of involve ghosts a little bit, but I am leaning toward Haunted Mansion only because it employs more practical effects, I feel like, in it. I don't mean to undercut all the amazing animatronics that are in Pirates of the Caribbean or the story that it tells or anything, but I grew up reading Goosebumps. I have always been a fan of these ghost stories, so to be able to go into a haunted manor that is family friendly but spooky and you can go with all ages, I still think that's cool. Also, they have a man hanging himself in an elevator. Where else at a Disney attraction are you going to see somebody essentially who has committed suicide hanging there. I don't think he's going to be there for forever. So if you go now, go now. But so I'm putting my thing down for Haunted Mansion. Please feel free. Don't use any vulgar comments in the YouTube video or tweet at us or any of that stuff. That's what we've decided. That's what it came down to in this version of this game. But if you want to play it yourself, put all these names in a hat, jumble it up, put them versus each other. You can play this bracket game at home with anybody and figure it out what you believe is the best Disney dark ride at Disneyland Resort. So thank you guys for playing. I'm sorry the outcome was not different for those who had hoped it would be. And like I said, if what you think is the best dark ride at Disneyland, go ahead and you can leave a comment in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube. But again, this was a bracket challenge, so I can't really help the attractions that are against each other. So thank you guys for listening and watching. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll see you next time with another episode of the Disneyland edition of the Diz Unplugged.